Good morning, everybody. All right, I'm going to wait for some people to tune in. How's everyone doing? Can you guys believe it's already half of the year? We're already in July. We're already midway through July. The year is flying. Good morning, Macedonas. On Facebook. Good morning, TikTok. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Facebook. I'm not on Instagram today, but I'll be on Instagram tomorrow. Once you come in, wave, say hi, let us know where you're tuning in from. What city and state or what country are you tuning in from? I'm just gonna give some people a couple of minutes to tune in. Good morning. Love you. God bless. Good morning, Novia. How are you doing? Good morning, Ona. I see we have some early risers today. That's good. Okay. So, and while you're coming in and tuning in, definitely, if you want to hear more alerts or more notifications when I come on live or when I publish, make sure you hit the like button on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Make sure you're subscribing to our YouTube channel and you're following us on Facebook and TikTok. That's the only way to know this information, right? And to get what you need. And the more you interact on our page, the more you'll be notified when, I talk about stuff. Good morning from NYC. What part of NYC? I used to live in New York. Good morning, Sean. Okay. So today I let me introduce myself. If you're joining me for the first time, my name is Aisha Chidole. I'm an immigration attorney and I service clients in all 50 states. So whether you're in, South Dakota, in New Jersey, Massachusetts, Florida, Texas, I can assist you with your immigration matter because immigration is a federal law. Personally, my offices are located in Lake Mary area, Florida. So that's the Orlando area. And we have a satellite office in Atlanta. But it doesn't matter where you're located. We can definitely, assist you with your case. And we do consultations if you're out of state via Zoom. So you can see my face and I can see your face. Tilla says first time on the live. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Tilla, for joining. You're from the Boogie Down. That's great. I used to live in Queens. Okay. So today I want to talk about, VAWA and, the timelines. So, I know a lot of people send me DMs and I see it a lot on the lives as well, where people ask me that question. So I just want to do sort of a breakdown of how that works. And, as always, guys, me breaking this down or giving you this timeline doesn't mean it is a hard and fast rule because, everything with immigration, what I give you guys is an estimate, and even though it's an estimate, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's going to happen in your case. So I just give you the average time that I see, in my practice and in my experience, of what happens. So for those of you who don't know what VAWA is a type of petition that qualifies spouses of U.S. citizens and green card holders to submit a self-petition by themselves for a 10-year green card if their spouse is extremely cruel to them or is abusive to them or doesn't want to help them with their papers, and things of that nature. The other people that qualify to submit a VAWA petition are children, right, of U.S. citizens or green card holders, or stepchildren who their parents were married before the child turned 18, and they submitted that petition before they turned 21. If they didn't submit it before they turned 21, they have to show extenuating circumstances, maybe due to the extreme cruelty and abuse, why they didn't submit it. But the absolute deadline as a child submitting for a parent that's abusive, it's 25. The other people that qualify for this are parents of U.S. citizens who are, so the children have to be 21 years or older for a parent to file VAWA based on their US citizen children. And one thing about VAWA is that it does not matter how you entered into the United States. If you came in undocumented, you came in documented, but you overstayed, you crossed the border, all of that stuff, you came in without inspection, if you qualify for VAWA based on what is happening to you, you can self-petition whether or not you came in with a visa or not, okay? So let's get that out of the way. So let's talk about timelines. So VAWA is a very, VAWA process, is a long process, but it is a very valuable process because it gives a lot of people who have no hope, or who feel like they're stuck, in this terrible and toxic relationship, a chance to basically come out of this bad relationships that they're in. And for a lot of people, the financial means is what keeps people in bad relationships, because they're like, okay, if I leave, where am I going to live? How am I going to eat? Who is going to support me? And all of those things. So, so that's why I want to talk about the timeline, getting your work permit, getting the ability to take your power back and leaving. So the first thing is when you submit a VAWA petition and you qualify to do what we call an adjustment of status, meaning you submit your VAWA petition and you also submit your adjustment of status application. Your adjustment of status application is the application that actually grants you your green card. When you submit them together, you have two opportunities to get a work permit. When you submit with your adjustment of status, you want to make sure that with your adjustment of status that you're submitting a work permit application, an employment authorization application. And if that's done correctly, the average time right now, as of today, that I'm seeing is somewhere between 4 months to 8 months. If you're lucky, you'll be in the 4-month side. If you're, or you'll be in the 5 months. Some people are even looking getting in 3 months, but the average time is 4 to 8 months, right? And most people fall around that 5.5 to 6 months. That's when you get your work permit. When you submit your VAWA application with an adjustment of status. I will get into if you submit your VAWA alone, okay? When you get your work permit, as of, I want to say probably now about a month, as of a month, when you get your work permit, what you get is a 2-year work permit. Prior to a month ago, when you get a work permit, you get a 1-year work permit. But now you get a 2-year work permit. And why is this happening? Because the average time it takes for a VAWA case from start to finish is anywhere from 2 years to 2.5 years. Okay, so the reason why they give you a work permit that lasts that long, so you're not going to have to deal with, oh, okay, I got to renew my work permit because my VAWA case is pending, because, while my if I don't renew my case while my VAWA case is pending, I'm not going to, I'm not going to get a job or they're going to fire me. So because they know that the case's average time take that long, now they're approving work permits for that long. Okay, and hi, good morning from Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, as you're coming in and tuning in, please definitely leave your questions in the comment box. Once I finish talking about this, I will definitely try and answer as many questions I can within the timeline that I have. Okay, so now, what about those who don't submit an adjustment of status, right? Application and just submit a VAWA application. If you just submit a VAWA application, unfortunately, you are not going to get a work permit until your VAWA case is going to be approved. And so what you're looking at is a 2-year wait, okay? So it's better to submit a VAWA application if you qualify to send it with the adjustment of status than to just a VAWA application alone. Because if you do a VAWA application alone, what happens is when they're about to approve your case, they will approve you for a work permit. And once they approve you of the work permit, then you know that your approval is coming in the mail. So that work permit is more symbolic and critical. So even though it takes a long time, you know that if you get that work permit, that means your VAWA approval is coming. However, when you submit your adjustment of status with your VAWA application, there's no guarantee that you're going to be approved. It's giving you the work permit because you have a pending petition. So that's why those two different work permits are a bit different, but the timelines are different. And for a lot of people, they need that work permit as soon as possible so they can get their social security number, so they can get a place by themselves, so they can get their own bank accounts, and they can basically free themselves from whoever that's abusing them in whatever relationship they're in. So that's it as far as timeline goes for VAWA work permits and how it works. Let me see if you guys have any questions for me. And Boa, good morning. Good morning from Maryland. How are you doing? Somebody on TikTok says, I'd like to know how I go about getting my visitor's visa. So, Rhonda on TikTok, that's really dependent on your own country and where you're from. You're going to have to apply through, I said USCIS, your U.S. consulate and embassy, fill out the form online, and they will schedule you, or use pay and schedule an appointment. God knows how long it's going to take. Every country is different, and every country has their own requirements of whether they approve you for a visitor's visa or not. The biggest thing when you're applying for a visitor's visa is that you want to make sure that you have a sufficient nexus to your home country, and that you can prove that if they give you the visa, you're going to come back. Because a lot of people, when you file and let's say you don't have anything tying you, you don't have a job in your home country, you don't have kids, you don't have a wife, you don't have any of those things, you might have a harder chance of getting approved, because they're going to be like, well, you don't have anything here to lose, so you're obviously going to leave, and come back and never come back. So those are all things that you need to make sure that you package yourself. And now let me give you a caveat, since we just brought that up. There are very many people that make this great mistake of lying on their visa application, right? Saying that they're married, right? Just so that they can get a visa and then they come here. Guys, I'm telling you, do not do it. It's not worth the trouble to do it, because if you do that and you forget that you did that, later on, you come into the United States, you marry somebody and you're like, okay, Attorney Chidoli, can you guys file an adjustment of status for me? And you file it, and then all of a sudden USCIS comes back and pulls your record from your home country and says, excuse me, you said you were married, so we need proof that you're no longer married, right? We need proof of your divorce decree. But then there's no divorce decree. Why? Because you were never really married. And then now you're looking at misrepresentation, right? And whether you're going to be approved of a waiver or not, even though you have a legitimate marriage. So don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it to you. Or the people who lie and do not list their children on their application. And then later on, when they want to naturalize and get citizenship, you list your children. It's going to affect your good moral character, right? You could get your green card taken away from you. So guys, don't lie on your application, but that's really how or what you need to do for a visitor's visa. So let's see. So good morning, Sandra. She says, Aisha, good morning. My daughter did her fingerprints last month. How long before she gets her social security? She's 15 years old. Does she have to do an interview? Sandra, I don't know what your daughter is petitioning on. Okay, so can you guys see me on Facebook now? I don't know what happened. It's like, it just blacked out. Okay, you guys see me on TikTok. Can you guys comment on Facebook if you can see me? I hope you can see me because I don't know what happened. But let me go back to the question that Sandra was asking. Sandra was saying that her daughter basically did her biometrics fingerprint last month. How long before she gets a social security number, because she's 15 years old and does she have to do an interview? So the interview question is, well, I don't really know whether she's going to have to do an interview or not. USCIS will determine that. In my own practice and my own experience post-pandemic, a lot of the kids are not having to do interviews. They're just asking for their medical exam and report, and they're bypassing it. I don't know if it's going to be the same for your daughter. If it is, that'll be great. Her social security is going to come after her work permit. If she just did her biometrics, hopefully give it at least 2 months from when she did her biometrics, and hopefully she'll get her work permit. And once she gets her work permit, a couple of weeks later, she'll get her social security. Okay. So Shine says, okay, you guys can see me now. Awesome. I don't know what happened. My friend applied for VAWA and adjustment of status at the same time, but it's now 6 months and she has only gotten a prima facie, no work permit yet. So Shine, everything is going to really depend on what category that your friend selected on her employment authorization application. If she submitted an I-765, which is an employment authorization application, she has to have selected the right category. And if she selected the right category, then she shouldn't worry, her work permit will come. Because remember, I said it goes anywhere from 4 to 8 months, and she could be one of the those on the other end of the range. So, but it's really critical to know what category she selected, because sometimes people don't select the right category, and that's what doesn't give them the work permit. I think I also now lost connection on TikTok. This is so annoying today. Can you guys see me on TikTok? Guys, let me just check my TikTok and see. If you can see me on TikTok, can you just comment and let me know? It's saying that I lost connection, but then it's saying it's a good connection. It's messing up my flow this morning. Okay, so Sandra says, I did file for my son. He's in Jamaica. August is going to be... I don't understand this question. If you can rephrase the question, that would be helpful, okay? So somebody says, how long after an I-485 interview does USCIS respond? Honestly, the answer depends. Sometimes, oh, great, on TikTok, you guys can see me. Awesome. The answer really depends on what is going on with your case. For some people, they can respond that same day, some people the next day, some people the next week, some people the next month, 6 months later. The answer really depends. But generally after 6 months, if they've not responded, it's a good time to touch base and see what's going on and what has taken them, a long time to respond to your case. Okay, so let's see if I have any other questions before I jump off. Okay, let me just see. Okay, so it says, my husband applied for my I-130 in November. I live in Jamaica. We still haven't gotten a response. So Honey Bun, what do you mean you've not gotten a response? Has he gotten a filing receipt? So if he's gotten a filing receipt, that would be a response. So what you can do is he can look at his filing receipt. On the filing receipt on the bottom is going to tell you what your processing center is. Once they tell you what your processing center is, then you can check the processing timeline of that processing center. How many months is it taking for them to process cases, and where are they in the processing? And that will help you know where you are. So if they're processing cases from November of 2020, then you know that your husband's response is coming soon. If they've passed it and they're processing cases in like March of this year, then you know there's a problem somewhere and you want to follow up with them. Okay. Okay, Sandra, you try to ask this question again. Let me see. Sorry about that. I filed for my son. He's living in Jamaica next month, going to be 1 here. Since I filed for him, I only get the receipt for immigration. I still don't understand the question. Sorry, Sandra. Sandra, you need to schedule a consultation and explain better to me. I don't understand what you're asking me. And then, oh, Favorite Carrot says, just waking up. Glad I caught it. Yeah, good morning. So this person says, I applied for VAWA in October of 2019, received a prima facie determination letter and work permits for both me and my daughter. We're now sending for renewal of our documents. How much longer will my case be approved? So your case could be approved anytime from the end of this year till early next year. So hopefully, you get that approval really soon. This person says, hello, Chidolo. So my name is actually not Chidolo. My name is actually Ayesha. So Chidolo is my last name. So hi, Namugabo. I came here last year in August with my boss, and I'm taking care of their twins. I've already got my work permit and social security number. I need your help. How can I get a green card? Well, so I don't know what you're here based on. So are you here on, what did you get your work permit and social security for? Are you here like on a B1 visa, any kind of J visas or a work visa, so it just really depends. If it's a work visa, you're going to have to do it through your employer. We don't handle employment-based. Employment-based visas are very different from family-based green cards, and I only deal with family-based petitions. Okay, so somebody on TikTok says, I filed for my husband in 2018. We got approved by NVC on March 2020 and still not any interview. Okay, yes, I know this is very frustrating, but think about this. You just said March 2020. In March 2020, we had a pandemic. That's when the pandemic started. And so they closed the entire the entire consulates. All the consulates were closed, plus the previous president basically shut down everything because he wanted to focus on, labor here and the people here getting a job. So there's an unbelievable amount of backlog, so they're playing catch up right now. So I know it is frustrating, waiting, but this is one of those cases where you just have to exercise patience, as they work out the kinks. Hopefully things will move faster, but it's not unreasonable that you've not heard yet just because this happened when you were, when we had the pandemic. So this person is saying I-130 approved. What's next? So the I-130 was approved. The question is, well, what did you file? Are you doing consular processing or adjustment of status? So the answer to your question is depending on what type of application you submitted. Are you doing consular processing because you're outside of the United States and you want to know what's next there? Or did you file within the United States and you filed the I-130? So if you can clarify that, that'll be helpful to assist you. Let's see. Guys, definitely share this video with your friends and your family who you think might be interested in knowing the answers to this. Let me see what else. If I have any other questions. Do you guys have any other questions? I think I covered all the questions. All right, guys. If you don't have any other questions, I am jumping off. I will be live tomorrow, but tomorrow I will be live at 11 a.m. So every Wednesday I come live at 11 a.m. every Wednesday Eastern Standard Time. On the other days, I come live somewhere between 9 to 9:15 to 9:30. There's no rhyme or reason. I just come live whenever I feel like it. But on Wednesday, I come live every Wednesday at 11 o'clock, unless I have an immigration office interview that day, which I do have one tomorrow. So I'm just I will be live, but I will probably leave early just so that I can be prepared for the interview. But otherwise, if you have more questions, you have a confidential matter and you want to evaluate and see what you need, please call my office, schedule a consultation. Let's talk. If I know somebody here asking what my fees are, call me and we can talk about what my fees are based on what you qualify for. My phone number is 407-995-6567. You can also send the office WhatsApp, which I don't monitor. So if you think you're talking to me, you're not talking to me. It is 404-333-8751. You can use that just to send a message to either have us call you or for you to schedule a consultation, and we'll be able to call you back. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday and see y'all tomorrow. All right, bye.